Am I muted? There it is. Hey! Yeah, I was looking for the HelloFresh overlay when I saw it. The Office Depot moved! Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Well, 2023 has certainly started off with a bang. Started off with a time. It's definitely a time. Hey, dreaded DM. Hey, yo. How you guys doing? We're gonna make something. And I think I have some great ideas. I've been working on some ideas for a little while now, and I just thought of a good way to keep the dice involved. We're gonna build some characters. We're gonna build some characters with tarot cards. I'm gonna talk over the core mechanics of it, and I hope you guys have thoughts and ideas that we can sort of play with. So thank you for being here. If you don't know, and I'm sure I'll say this so many times, don't know nothing. That is very true. Let's see. Sorry, doing some overlay things at the moment. I'm just gonna call it this. There we go. Okay. And what is that? Oh no, cancel that. We don't need that. Let's see. Let's do this. No, not that. Come on. There. Let's do that. Okay. What is that? I don't need that. That needs to go away. Yeah, I promise I have slightly better ideas than this. Yeah, get rid of that. A Cody tabletop RPG. That is correct. That is going to be that is what we're going for. So, like I was saying, if you guys don't know, Wizards of the Coast is changing their open gaming license, and which is shitty because it is what people have come to enjoy and play and participate with and in, and it's also okay. Wow, we're just saying fuck you to Cody all over the place today, aren't we, internet? Yeah. Wow. Okay, we're gonna delete that. We're gonna try that again. Delete. My OGL is as O as a GL can be. That's it. Whatever was allowed under the last one, you want to take the core mechanics and make and do something with it, go do. It's going to be I think it's going to be a fun system. I think it's going to be a vibrant system. And here's the thing. We're going to start with just a classic fantasy RPG so that everybody can exactly. I'd like if people said my name in there somewhere, but honestly, it's not that important to me because, and I'm gonna show you guys what I really mean here, in just a second. Okay, there we go. Yes, that, but not that specific one. Let's go with that one. Great. Okay, now. Am I better at game design than I am at OBS? Yes, I am. That has officially been decided as true. I think I'm funny too. There it is. That's what I wanted you to do. Look at that bullshit. Look at that. Look at that. you know, here's the thing. Save, not save. I know a lot of people are going to have some fun systems that are going to come out, and that's the exciting part. Here's the great part. The world's greatest RPG just made it so that only either they own it all, or only they get to profit from it, and that is not what R's or P's or G's are for. So I have an opening. I've gotten did a little sassy writing, and so let us begin with a little. I think this is going to be the opening to, I guess, my world, or we're going to do some classic fantasy stuff. But let me use the voice, shall we? If I can get the money to publish it, yes, I would love to. The nice thing is I can at the very least make it into a nice PDF, put it up on DriveThruRPG. People can pay what they want for it. The stuff about like the setting I design or come up with, I would probably ask people to pay for. We're also doing it as potentially a stretch goal for Pixie's Kickstarter. So that's going to be another option for getting into it, but that's going to be more focused, and it's going to be 2 examples. One, this is going to be a broad open basic fantasy example, and then when we get to the Mapweaver Chronicles, we're going to make things much more specific to her books, to her setting, to that world, so that we can see it in different ways, right? Hey, Meep, nice to have you. So let's see what we got here. And so it was that the world that once was devoured itself. In the end, it was not the drifting dangers of the gods beyond the pale, nor the machinations of the infinite hells, nor could the wildest ambitions of king or dragon hope to match the force that felled low the world before. No, in the end, it was the greed of wizards that ruptured what was once reality, leaving all but the chosen special few in a world of dull, lifeless gray. See, good reader, it was not enough for those mystical magisters of myth to own the very spells that shaped the land. Oh no. Those wizards without wisdom were not content owning the cities or the lands, the monsters or the magics, the very heavens and the realms beyond. In the end, they demanded to own the dreams and stories of all that dared to dream too close to the wizard's domain. The sleep of mad myth-makers broke apart at the seams. Wild, wonderful, and weird ideas fled for fear that they should stay, that should they dare to be spoken or shared, those wizards of greed would claim ownership and so collect the very domain. But it was there on the edges, where long ago some had dared to dream outside of the sharp-angled box. It was here where the world saw glimmers of color dancing beyond the horizons. It was here we begin our tale. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. So this was another idea I was kind of kicking around. And this is going to be the basic fantasy setting. City of the Seven Sovereigns. But we'll get into some world design stuff about that in a little bit, right? So, let's... Oh, what did I do there? When did that happen? Don't do that. I don't want that. That was dumb. I appreciate it, Meep. Thank you for the robe, the wizard hat. We have a bunch of great people. So, let's talk basics. The first idea was that instead of rolling for character stats, we would... Oh, Meep, I don't get it. You would draw cards. I have a tarot deck here, a classic tarot deck. I like the shape of tarot decks in general, the kind of size, and there is something akin in the creation of a character, akin to laying out a tarot reading. If you're not familiar, usually there are things called spreads that do a pretty good job of... there's another card drawing system that does it. It is Malifaux. The Malifaux RPG system does it, where you draw cards, and they're based on a 52-card deck. They also use that deck, a classic 52-card deck, in order to determine successes and fails. So we're going to do something like that, not exactly like that. The idea here is that you don't need a character sheet. That's step one. Character sheets are fun, but they're also cumbersome. They kind of get in the way. I like decks. I think that there is a very specific type of magic about cards, right? Something about shuffling them, about the fact that at a certain number, it's impossible for them to have ever been in that specific order before. And I think that that's a fun way to begin to create a character. Okay? So, here is the core mechanic. I'm trying to find a good way to share that, as far as maybe like drawing or maybe sheets. There's like an art pad. Do I have to open a fancy art pad? I have fancy art pads. I don't know if I want to open a fancy art pad though. I do have my... I can download and put it on the iPad. You know what else I can do? I can grab some paper and a pen real quick. That is also a good option. Yeah, look at that. That's actually a much closer to reality option. But let's look over here. Did I put it? It might be under rep. Let's see what I can... Let's see if I can get us over there. Nope. Oh, stomach. Don't be that way. You guys ever been like just sick enough for life to be hard, and that's the day that you have to... You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna set out and do this huge project I've been working on for a really long time. Thank you, Meep. I appreciate and accept your tea. Let's see. Can I duplicate that? Can I just... No? I can't? Why is there no, like, duplicate? Fine. Kinda suck anyway. Image capture. Yeah, that's fine. And yeah, that sounds good. And now let's make that an acceptable sort of size. You want to offer a promotion? No, thank you. Great. Good enough. Agreed. Can I... Yeah, we can delete that. There we go. Begone, bot! Bot, begone! So this was kind of the idea that I had been playing with previously. We'll have tarot cards that describe different aspects of your character that are brought up, right? Just like that. And this is sort of a layout of them. It's going to be something... thank you for the follow, Fate of the Dice. Much appreciated. We're going to try to make something awesome. Hopefully you stick around and help us out. Because fuck, That's it. Just fuck. So I'm going to do something very similar to this. We're going to maybe add a sheet here. We're going to do something that is also similar, right? But here's the idea. You deal out a certain number of cards, 5 to 10. That's going to be your character, right? And then we're going to lay them out as a spread. The spread of the cards is going to be your character sheet. It's going to give you all of your important information on it. And it's going to determine what you're focused on doing at the moment, right? So you can switch out the cards that are on the top of the spread, because in those moments they are what you're attempting to do. This creates the action economy. A 4-card spread, just like a normal cross, is going to be what you are attempting to accomplish at that time and how you are attempting to accomplish it, right? Those numbers are going to add up. They're going to create a total, and then we're going to roll under the total. That's it. If you roll under the total, then the effect happens, whatever that card is describing. If it's a spell, an attack, a knowledge or recollection of something. If you roll under your character's number, that is a success, and the effect is applied. Monsters will have their own effects that they have, and it's going to be a system where the characters are attempting to resist or overcome what is happening there. I did have a deck system, but I know people have bought a ton of dice. I make dice. I love dice. I don't want to get rid of dice. So this is the best idea I have, because the GM, the storyteller, instead of setting the number, the dice 4, thank you, Meep. Instead of setting the number of the difficulty, that's being set by the character, how skilled and good they are and how much they're focusing on doing something, right? But what the GM gets to decide is the die rolled. So bigger dice, bigger numbers, means it's a harder task to accomplish. Smaller dice means it's an easier task to accomplish. Is it petty that I made, technically a D100, but I made the D20 the worst dice? Maybe. Was it intentional? Maybe. If you have a D30 or a D24, you want to use it at your table, go for it. 100%. No problem. Right? That's up for you and your GM to, if you're the GM and you got enough D30s for people, yeah, man, do it. 100%. Also, when people fail, when they take damage, when they get hurt, they're going to accumulate damage dice, disadvantage dice, essentially. So you're always taking the highest number rolled. A small wound is like a 4. Probably not going to affect things. But if you get hit in that area again, then it ups to a 6. It ups to an 8. If it's a new wound, if it's not making something worse, maybe you add another D8. And this is how we have a tactile, visceral, exciting sort of event regarding our characters, right? I am going to... I think I need to grab... Oh, right, pen and paper. I'm going to grab some pen and paper, and we are going to then... I'm going to show you kind of what I mean for a layout, and I'm going to see if there's just like a whiteboard online that I can find somewhere. Let's see. I had started some charts previously. Free Lion whiteboard. I don't need a tutorial, just call me... Yeah, there we go. What is this? Give me this. Yeah, give me that. So, let's talk anatomy of a card, right? That's gonna kind of be... Or, what... Okay, you guys tell me. Do we want anatomy of a card, or do we want, basic... Like, what a character sheet looks like, what they would behave like? Where do we want to start? I think it might be better to start on, like, the... In the end, this is what it would look like idea. That I agree, Mystic. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make an open source RPG. I think it's cool to draw cards, and I'm trying to make it distinct enough from the roll add a modifier mechanic that it can't even bump into the OGL. That's my hope. That's why I'm in this realm, in this design idea, right? Take the flu for a walk, come on back. So that's why I'm talking about simple stats, right? And then stats that start broad and get more specific. Hey, Billy, I'm so glad you are here. I have some good ideas, and I really want your feedback on them. So I'm going to kind of draw out what I think would be the basics, and I'm going to use, if you guys know anything about tarot, I'm going to use what is essentially the most basic of spreads. If you are Wiccan in any way, but please, this is not sacrilege. We mean no offense. That is as much of a disclaimer as I've got. Yeah, rolling dice and doing math. Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna do something different. All right. So here's the basic idea. The basic idea is to create a character. You're gonna be dealt cards. Cards are going to represent milestones both in your life, your race, your heritage, your class, and your not class, your adventuring style. And I think I had one more. And proficient, right? Thank you. So we're going to divide those things up basically into four things, right? We've got, I'm going to put a P here for physical. We've got mental. We've got social. And then we've got, I'm going to call it arcane. Okay? At any point, whatever card you have in here is going to have a stat on it. So, if you went to Cambridge and you've got a big old 3 right there, that's going to be added up from the cards beneath it, and maybe it's, we'll say like history buff. Sorry, writing with a mouse is hard. Physical, whatever you think you're focusing on right now, maybe track. You used to run track. You used to be in the wilderness. Pretty. So you're putting the aspects of your personality up front. That's the idea. Those are going on top. Arcane. Maybe you have an empty one. Maybe you are not proficient in magic at all. Hi, fish. Thank you, yellow fish. So. These are the aspects of your character. This is your character sheet. This is what is out in front of you. Now you probably have like an equipment card, right? There's a limit to equipment you can have out being used at a time. So that'll probably fill that out. This is almost it. You maybe have a specialty card right here in the middle. So you've made your character sheet. That is that, right? And so let's talk about it in terms of a normal combat action, right? A normal round of combat. I want to move. I want to draw my weapon, and I want to attack, right? So those are the actions that I am attempting to accomplish. So I'm going to have to roll 2 dice. Drawing your weapon doesn't need a dice. Simple. Don't need it, right? So you say, all right, on my attack, I'm going to commit my my physical stat and my magic stat. Okay? And I've got a 2 in physical, and I've got a 1 in magic, right? And as far as getting there, I can make a justification that my mental stat helps me pick a good route. Social is also going to be perception-based, right? Because viewing people, being able to make good decisions, assessing situations, those are all largely social skills, right? Or maybe for this one, you take the social out. You're not trying to be social. You put a second physical card up, okay? So then you've got a 2 and a 3. That's going to be your get there, right? Get there skill. So here, nice. So a 3 plus 2 is a 5. Got to roll below a 5 to get there. And to hit this guy, we've got a big old fat 3. Now we're going to roll some dice. The DM says this guy is hard to hit. Yes, Scribe. So, what it is they determine what your character needs to roll under. So you need to roll under a 3. Very hard to do. But if it's a big old dumb ogre, the DM says, all right, you get to roll a D6. The dice represents the difficulty. If it's a D4, then it's super easy to hit, right? Over here, getting there is easy. You're going to roll a D4. No problem. You're going to get there. Your damage card tells you how much damage you're dealing to the monster. Maybe your magic card describes your blade, you being able to channel magic, add 1 positive effect to anything you do. Maybe add a negative effect to the monster card. So you're putting the aspects of your character on top. You've chosen your actions. Those 2 numbers together make up what you have to roll below. The DM tells you what dice to roll, because that is the difficulty rating of the task you're attempting to do. And if there's ever something where you have over a 4 and you get to roll a d4, we don't need to roll. Because I think you would agree, there are plenty of times where you're fighting something and you're gonna hit, man. Like, rolling dice is fun. And I think that there is a critical system in here where if you roll a number that matches what's on the card, gets a bonus effect. Right? I think that's sort of my opinion on that. And you can always willingly take a larger die. The DM says it's a D4, but you want to take your friend with you. Maybe it's a D6. You want to pull somebody along, right? You want to land somewhere specific. That changes the die. Maybe you want to do it with a flourish, because you've got this right here, your second physical card was 5 by itself. That's 3, so that makes this 8. And a D4 is never going to critical on either of those. But you can roll a D8 or a D6 to get a 5 or a 3. When you take damage, I think armor absorbs damage. We can cycle those cards out, right? Adding damage cards, adding damage dice, very much like a deck builder sort of gums up. Oh. Huh. Huh. Sorry, I didn't realize most of that was just not visible. I will try again. More big. More big. More big. Thank you, Meep. Oh, that's it? That's as big as we got? You're killing me, whiteboard. You're killing me. Right? Okay. Nicely done. We can close that. Thank you. Okay, so over here, right, we've got one card, we've got another card, we've got a card down here, we've got a card right here. These are the cards that you're focused on doing things, the abilities you're putting forward, the types of you, the parts of you, right? If you're an elf and you have an elven card here, maybe it gives you, it tells you what numbers it helps, right? If you're using a rapier or an elven blade, you can use the elven card and have a 3 or a 4 or a 5, a higher number, so it's easier for you to do. You are trained and practiced in that, right? Yeah, I know that. I know that feeling, joking. So there's the basic layout, right? The one thing we haven't talked about is like a class or another aspect of your character that you are. And here is the card that you want to get. Or you can reverse those, actually. Right? And all of these cards list a number. Let's kind of get into maybe the anatomy of a card real quick. So that's the basic, like, layout idea there. Pen and Paper Developer 2. So it's not. So it is similar, like, to a deck builder RPG. Yeah. So it's meant to be an open source tabletop RPG. I like the idea of shuffling and dealing cards to develop your first character, right? So all of the aspects about you, where you grew up, what you trained in, your species, anything sort of special or different, or maybe not special, not different. Those all are represented on the cards, right? And the cards, you lay them on top for what you're focused on. You got like 4 slots, basically. And those are going to determine what you... when you go to take like an attack action, or you're trying to persuade somebody or seduce them or terrify them, or maybe you're just trying to remember something, trying to figure out a puzzle, you know, then you add up those numbers and you roll beneath it. And the GM determines the difficulty of the task by deciding what dice you have to roll. So it's very hard. It's the hardest possible is a D100. Or I don't know, people maybe have like a D1000 or something. Like, it's doable, you know? I think at that point, just don't let them do it, really. So I was about to get into kind of the anatomy of a card. But yeah, I think leveling up, instead of it being done sort of a big shot at a time in which you get a ton of new abilities. You get like new hit points. You get a bunch of stuff that you suddenly have to decide and figure out and work through. At the end of every session, or when you get back to town, or anything along those lines. 10 D100s. Absolutely. When you... sorry, try not to be sick. At the end of a session, you would get you could get a new card. And then you're gaining an ability, you're gaining a new stat, you're gaining something to help with, but it's not something that is devastating. Or you know what I mean? It's not so much that it's confusing for new people, right? We're always going to try to roll under a number. We could even take it out of... take the adding out of it, right? So, sorry, McNancy. Tarot-style RPGs, you like the idea. Okay, seems like it would lend itself to emerge. Yes, I love that. And I love the idea of me as I'm an improv GM. I'm at my best when I'm running with the flow, when I'm changing stuff up, all of that sort of stuff. I love the idea of building, as a GM, building an adventure deck that has locations and hazards and monsters and things like that, and then just revealing it, you know? Something about that to me sounds really cool. Apologies. Okay, quick question. I know math slows down RPGs. So what if we do it this way? We're going to go back to our... Yes, 100%. We have to have a trap card. Only because I would say we have to have a heart of the cards if I thought it wouldn't get me sued. I love that. So, real quick, I'm gonna redraw this layout. Okay. So this is gonna be our character sheet. These are our 4 things we're doing, right? Blue Eyes White Dragon. Did you know, still to this day, the regular monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! With the highest attack points remains the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Spirit of the cards, essence of the cards, the will of the cards. Yeah. Absolutely. So, before I was talking about adding 2 of these card numbers together and then rolling underneath it, right? What if... Apologies. There are... So we're doing that same action. Draw the weapon. $100 and... Oh my god. I don't need that many pens. I have pens. I have colored pens. Forget what I said about colored pens. I have colored pens. Look. I got them. I got them all right here. I got them. Put them back. No more pens. I love you. I love you so much. Okay. But instead of adding 2 cards together, right, we're gonna run somewhere. We're gonna draw a weapon. We're gonna make an attack. Right? So I'm going to say that this is a 3, this is a 1, this is a 3, this is a 2. Right? Exactly, McNancy. So, for every task you're doing, if there's a chance of failure, you're rolling a die. And then you just have to see, is the number on the die lower than the number on the card? Equal to or lower than the number on the card. Right? So, this card right here, it takes an action, it takes a bit of time to draw your weapon. No need to roll. Right? No need. There you go. To get there, you're on flat ground, you're going somewhere else. No need to roll. Maybe there is. Maybe there's difficult terrain, and I can't... Can I undo? Can't undo. That sucks. But it's easy. So you roll a d4. Is it... Do you get there? If you fail, you roll higher dice for these, right? And then you're rolling a d4, and maybe the second one is a d6 because you don't know how to fight that great. Maybe you're making 2 attacks. You can make up to 4 if you're just in place and you're focused on fighting, you know? So no addition. No addition. Just roll under the number. A card that you're better at something gives you a bonus, makes it a higher number, lets it, do something like that. But no hard skill list. Just list of things that aspect of your personality would be good at on the card. Your personage would be good at on the card. Right? So we can get into card. What do you guys think? Add multiple cards together and make less rolls. Make more rolls with no adding under more cards. What do you think? I'm going to give that a moment. Oh, apologies. I have had so much caffeine today just to kind of make myself function, I am leaning towards the second option. Okay, I'm ready. 2 Red Bulls by 12 for me. That would be the idea, Scribe. Well, here, custom cards, not regular. Could you do it with regular playing cards? Yeah, sure, absolutely. But I was thinking having print-to-play cards for people could be just as effective. I think you can get custom decks made. Would I ideally like to have some awesome character art and some dramatic stuff and let that live? I love card games, I love Magic the Gathering and Legend L5R and all that sort of stuff. I would love for them to be custom cards, but I don't think they all need to be my custom cards. And I think having some blanks that people can fill out, sort of Cards Against Humanity style, where they're, make it your own. Do your thing with it. And the core mechanic of if you and your... I think it holds true. If you and your GM agree to it, then you're good, So the card in front of the player represent actions. They represent... not specifically actions, but aspects of their life. Why they are good at something. Part of their training or history or experience. Because what I don't want is, I don't want people to only be able to do the things that are on the cards. One of the nice things about tabletop RPGs is that your arcane card just says bees. One one of the things that I think people enjoy about RPGs, tabletop RPGs, the imagination-based RPGs, are they can do anything, right? And I don't want to take that away. I want them to still be able to do anything. So the cards, other than, maybe magic spells, like specific spells, you can lay out and build up to. Maybe something like that. And I think that's more like an equipment piece if your spell book is like a deck of cards in that, like, here's the back, here's the front of the book, and here's the back of it, and you put your spell on top, the spell you're trying to cast, and then it has the text of the spell right there. So you're never having to rewrite a spell. You never don't have the text for what you're doing. If it's in your spell book or your bloodline or your pact or whatever is giving you that spell, I think spells are the exception, right? Spells are maybe like specific techniques, but those are more to me in equipment things. I think these are the base stats, right? This is like your stat column of what part of you're leaning on, what part of your history. It reminds me a little bit of 13th Age. 13th Age, you didn't have a skill list. You had backgrounds that you put points into, which were your modifiers on the D20. But it was like a sailor. So anytime you would be doing something that ostensibly a sailor could be good at, you would be adding that number to the roll. I think that this is a little bit along those lines. It is sort of like aspects from Fate. Yeah. It is like that. But I think there's a couple of things we got to put together, right? Core people based on experiences, lineages, training, things that have happened, right? If there was a published adventure, let's say, maybe there were specialty reward cards, let's say for defeating Medusa, right? You defeated Medusa, you learned a special experience fighting blind, right? And you can earn, I think, maybe more experience failing at things, because we always learn more from doing poorly than we do from succeeding, right? And I think that's something that should be, I would like that to be part of the mechanic, right? Let's see if we can explore what a card anatomy might look like, Let's see. Team Nat 1 better than Nat 20. Yeah, absolutely. If you guys came in after I read my little intro, I'll read it again. So let's. Oh. I'm seeing over here where it's off the map again. Each position. What do you mean by position? Like type of adventuring job? Yeah, could be a different deck. Could be a different different deck, different series of steps. So, having played many a card game, we know a few things need to be here. One, we got to have some kick-ass art. Yes, there are cards in different positions. Initially, that was my idea, But I'm thinking now it'd be better to have the character as one whole deck, and the player laying out what part of themselves they're working on. Initially, the idea was that specific stats or specific cards went into each deck, each pile. What do you think? Should I go back to the layout? Is that a more pertinent topic at the moment? I will. Here are my two thoughts in general. Being able to choose what's on the table feels like you're more in control. But I don't want people holding a hand full of cards and trying to look through them rather than paying attention to what is happening. I think so too. I think the different positions had context. I think so too. Initially, the different positions were physical, mental, social, and magical. But not every character is going to be magic. Not every character is going to want to be magic. So that could be something different. Because I think so many tasks have multiple aspects to them, right? A smart fighter is at times more effective than a very physically strong one, but then there are times where that doesn't matter. So that I'm trying to work out, and I would love some input. I do think one deck, for simplicity's sake, I don't think trying to keep cards separate, trying to shuffle through things, trying to change things, you know what I mean? I don't think that that's ideal. So here we go. Art. I'm very good at art. Right? I do too. I do like that idea as well, McNancy. I'm not. I think that's a great advanced rule expansion idea. I want step one is to be accessible. That to me is step one, and then we can get more and more complicated as we go. Yep. So, sorry, I was checking out the Discord there. If you're not in our Discord, go check it out. So, I'm gonna put we're gonna just put a number sign up here, right? Number sign. And then in here, I think here's the details. And what do I mean by details? I think this is where things like those perks from your origin, from your background, those things that you always forget about because they're not right in front of you, I think those bonuses to tasks. Go here. Right? That's sort of my anatomy thought. And then maybe down here in the opposite corner is the cost. The level of the card. What it takes to get the card, right? So it's either a number or maybe it's an asterisk, like you have to do a specific mission or job or something like that. Hey, welcome, Panda. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I think McNancy, I think those would be on the DM's part. For instance, if you're an elf and you're trying to negotiate with orcs in a world where orcs hate elves, I think we take that into account, especially if the elf card is on top or in one of those positions, and you then you have to roll a die one step higher, you know? And I think the more aspects of yourself that are working against you probably increase the step of the die by 1. I think that's a pretty elegant solution to that. Those are my thoughts. Hey, Panda. Nice to have you here. So let's let's design some cards. Not on here. Maybe in like a chart. Maybe we can make some cards there. My initial chart, I think, is a bit different than where we've ended up with stuff. But I think yeah, but I think music switching.
Hey folks, your humble no copyright bard is here.
Great. That is not helpful for me. Lasers and feelings where characters' strengths are reflections of their weaknesses. I do like that. I think aspects of characters should be absolutely should be both positive and negative. I think it always depends on the context in which they're being put forth. And I think that difficulty gets reflected in thank you, Meep. Should get reflected in the die that the person is rolling. So, because Megan just came in, we do have some friends that I think have kind of stopped in and out. Here are the basic ideas. You get dealt cards and you build a deck, and that deck is your character. That is your character's experience and who they are. And you use those cards to set your stats for challenges that may arise. And the stats are very broad. Right? We're physical, social, mental, arcane, but then there are specifics underneath it. Right? Running, jumping, climbing trees, fighting, all physical things. all the sort of social actions, all those mental recalls and things like that, and magical, right? So let's go back here. Let's clear this up. Let's come here. All right. So this was kind of a list of types of origin cards I was thinking of. I had a Fate Luck category. I don't think I'm going to keep that. I think that's going to go away. Might have more like specialized sorts of things like that. But let me get this and this and this. Why are you like that? Why do you hate people? I don't understand. What have you... Is it this? Do I need to... Does this need to be here? What is... Why are you mad? Why are you? Just why are you? Okay. Fun. This is fun. Great. Yeah, I think having some fortune cards, some just good luck cards, some benefit cards, I think those are more about the experience what the character is going through. I think taking them out of the character creation process is perhaps smoother, but we'll find out. An approach, an attitude, I like it. Yeah, I like it. I initially was thinking each position was going to be a stat, which is why we were talking about combining stats to make a roll. But if it's smoother for us, I think the adding two numbers and then rolling under them is super simple. I don't think we need to do that. I don't think we need to do the more rolls. That's the problem. Both are good options. Both are good options. I'm going to just make some quick notes here. Cards are... an accumulation of what makes the character special and effective as an adventurer, right? Let's see. Stats. Physical, mental, social, arcane. I think 4 stats, 4 positions makes sense. That is very clever. I like that a lot, McNancy. Yeah. Here's my one fear. I don't want people to spend... I don't want people to be locked in looking at their cards. You know what I mean? But I think if you put a card in a position, use it as part of a test. You fail at that test, you have to cycle that card out. Yeah. Cycling that card out. That'd be good. Then we can put wound cards in the deck and not just on the dice. Setback dice, wound cards. They gum up the hand. You have less options when you attack or when you do things. Yep. I think if we say cards get slotted into positions, 4 stats, 4 positions. 4 sides to the cards. Yes, I like that. So if you load up on strengthy leaning cards, you get features that work well together, but their value on non-strength positions are low. Yep. Agreed. Okay. So let's make a card or two. I think that's right. Dice are rolled under the appropriate stat to determine if it was a success. Larger dice are higher difficulty set by Game Master. Many good things. So there's kind of the core idea. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. Let's design a card. We'll design 4, and then we'll kind of imagine them in place, and we'll see what they do, right? Why not? Let's give it a shot. Rename. Hell Touched. All right. So this is here. We're gonna make a card that is about being from the hells. That your mom and dad slept with something dark and creepy. Exactly. That's part of it, McNancy. I love that's what I'm going for. I'm going for cards based on story events that define your character. Cards based on life events that change who they are. And I think one of those, very much in the high fantasy, is what they trained blacksmith. It's vocation, it's species, origin, right? So the first one I want to make is Hell Touched. Part demon, baby. Cool. Exactly. Yeah. Seal of the Magistrate. Things like that. So Let's just merge all of that. So there's the art. Right. There's the art. And if we are suggesting... That's... Exactly. Yeah, temporary ones like wounded leg. Yep. You are picking up what I'm putting down, and vice versa. Why is this fighting with me so hard? Why are you like this? Oh. What the hell? Okay. That? Do you feel better about that now? Okay. For my own OCD-ness, I'm going to add this. All right, it's up here. Merge cells. Merge cells. Okay. So, where should positions be? Mental stat, physical, social, arcane. Now, is that just calling out a core mechanic? But we'll get to it in a second. Hey, Blondie. Oh, nice. Hope your school stuff is getting sorted out well. No, I think that's a core idea. I don't know that putting that on the card is, yeah, the past informs who we are. That is a big overall theme. Definitely is. And absolutely. And I think the flip of that adds on to it is what we choose to do impacts who we are. Right? Who we become, right? Past impacts who are. What we choose to do impacts who we become. Because I like the idea of different adventures that you go through, changing your deck, changing your person, changing your experiences, what you can do, what you like to do, what you don't like to do, right? All of those sorts of things. But I don't know that this is the right place. Exotic looks. I think these need to I think having some abilities like that on them make a difference, right? A reduced one step. It's another tiefling thing. Rebuffed by fire. Good morning, Randy. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. I like it, McNancy, and thank you so much for being on board. Your enthusiasm is giving me life. 100%. 100%. Yeah, rebuffed by fire. I think we can also have some limited abilities, right? If you take physical damage from a that's it. Got it. Understood. Done. Check this out. Okay. From a source, you may summon the creative wheels absolutely are turning. Okay. Got it. Got it. So on the cards, they're going to be parts of your personality, and there will be like upgraded version. So if you are part demon, hell touched, that's the lowest base of it, and then you can level up this card, and it'll improve from there. We don't need to choose which style of the mechanic we were talking about in the build-up. The player is going to choose that, and the player is going to choose that in the moment. They have 4 slots for actions. The slots aren't necessarily... Maybe that determine... No. that means we have multiple decks. So the slots are not going to be determined by specific cards that go into them, but every card has the 4 stats on it, right? So when I say, we're going to come back over here. Nope. Give me this. Give me this. All right. Are you kidding me? Come on. Okay. So we have card 1. These are going to be lopsided. Card 2. 3. 4. Right? And we have those stats. Boop, 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 boop. Great, right? Our combat turn, our social turn, whatever it may be, these are our individual stats. Anytime we roll, if we have to roll, we have to get under one of these. And when we, on a turn, once we've done that, you can't use any of the stats on that card for any other actions in your turn, right? We're talking about an in-combat turn right now. But let's say I have a d20, it's very difficult. I had a bunch of stuff I could do. I have 4 actions. I could do different things. I can use different powers or aspects of my character to get there and do those things. But let's say it's very hard. I'm fighting a lizard that breathes fire and has 4 legs and wings and is very large, but is perhaps not, for legal reasons, a dragon. I know that they don't own dragon, but I'm just being sassy. Being a sassy bitch today. So my DM's like, yeah, but you got to roll a d20. You got to roll a d30. You got to roll a d100. I roll a 16. None of my individual stats are above 16. None of my cards have a physical stat. I'm swinging with my sword. So I want to attack the dragon with my greatsword. He goes, great. It's very hard to... It's got tough scales. Roll a d20. And I roll a 16. None of my individual stats are above 16. 16 or above. But if I... to borrow another Wizards of the Coast term, I tap or I exhaust each of the cards. So instead of moving, instead of talking, instead of pulling any, using any magic, I just use all 4 cards. I commit all of them to that action. If I had rolled low, maybe I got a natural 1, I only need to exhaust 1 card. And then I can either attack again, or I can move, right? Or I can try to intimidate it. I can send, maybe on here, this is the minstrel card. This is my fighter card. This is my minstrel card. Maybe I have a healing word on here, right? And it's, roll, test social, and heal an ally. And then I can exhaust that. So these are the actions. You have to commit them when you do something. What do you guys think? I think that's cool. I think it's flexible. I think it gives people positive things, right? Maybe this. Summoned fire. When committed to a physical attack, add this arcane stat to the damage. right? Um, so everything you're doing with a car. Oh, hi, hey. Um, everything you're doing with a card is something that gets exhausted. If it's a big ability like a spell or something for this fire effect, you have to take it. You have to cycle it. You put it in your discard pile, and you have your all your character options, all your character cards in your hand, and then as you try and fail at things, you cycle them into the discard. When you run out of cards, every turn you draw a number of cards equal to your level. So, Blondie, to catch you up, 2 days ago, it leaked the Open Gaming license, the Wizards of the Coast Open Gaming license, which was debuted in 3rd edition. So, in 3rd edition, the OGL was originally written to be irrevocable, which they are trying to revoke. What it means, in short, is that any D&D third-party published product, which would, or like fan creations, actual plays, original characters, anything that is related to the game outlined in the OGL, which is, just so we're clear, have stats, roll d20, add stat, beat DC. Anything along those lines would be copyright to Wizards of the Coast, which could include original characters, art. Any art would be their property. And if you wanted to publish, say, like a third-party source book or a setting or anything like that, they would own the setting. They would own the IP. And yeah. So I am today making... Yeah, so like it goes beyond even homebrew, because it goes to other creative endeavors. And it also goes into other games. Like Pathfinder is published under the original OGL. Starfinder, so many other games. And it's them attempting to own the rights to the base core mechanics, and so they absolutely could. They absolutely could. But whether or not they would, like, if there was something good enough and profitable enough, would they steal it? Yeah, probably 100%. What's more likely is that they cut off all other actual play competitors, and because they own D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond has its own streaming branch. And so only the games that they support are what is allowed to be played. Yeah. 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 So here we are on the raggedy edge. So to that end, just today I woke up and I decided,
Fine. I'll do it myself.
I think this is a great start. I think this is a playtestable start. So fuck it. Let's make some, right? I want to make, I want to playtest. We can playtest stream. Absolutely. I want to design a number of cards. We can do some print to play, you know. We can do some placeholder art. So the name for this system that I was thinking of was maybe because if you guys haven't noticed, Cody's in a petty place, I think. Decks of Destiny, which maybe that could be abbreviated to, I don't know, DOD? Another one, because now we've added dice into it, is of Decks and Dice. What is that? Well, that's OD. Oh, and D. Your Dodbod. Exactly. 100%. Exactly. So let's get a list of cards that we want for Origins, okay? And we're going to make those cards. We're going to make them printable. If I can make sort of mock-up art ones, maybe we can use something like Tabletop. I know the Tabletop app. You can upload custom decks, and they'll shuffle and deal them for you. And I think that might be a cool way to kind of give this a go. So maybe tomorrow. But let's get into it. Let's keep going. Oof. Okay. Not sick, not dead. Everything's okay. Everybody's okay. So here we go. High Fantasy Decks of Destiny. Oh, right. I did have the other thing I wrote, which I thought was also kind of fun. So this is kind of my little, I think, intro for the setting. If you guys were here I read it at the very beginning. That was a little while ago. I'm going to give that a read, and we'll go from there. Also, fun quote of the day: how's your gaming life? As I said, as open as a GL can be. So there you go. Just gonna slut it up, I guess. So here we go. And so it was that the world was once devoured, devoured itself. In the end, it was not the drifting dangers of the gods beyond the pale, nor the machinations of the infinite hells, nor could the wildest ambitions of king or dragon hope to match the force that felled low the world before. No, in the end it was greed of wizards that ruptured what was once reality, leaving all but the chosen special few in a world of dull, lifeless gray. See, good reader, it was not enough for those mystical magisters of myth to own the very spells that shaped the land. Oh no, those wizards without wisdom were not content owning cities or the lands, the monsters or the magics, the very heavens and realms beyond. In the end, they demanded to own the dreams and stories of all that dared dream too close to the wizard's domain. The sleep of mad myth-makers broke apart at the seams. Wild, wonderful, and weird ideas fled for fear that should they stay, should they dare to be spoken or shared, that those wizards of greed would claim ownership and so collect every domain. But it was there on the edges, where long ago some had dared to dream outside of the sharp-angled box. It was here the world saw glimmers of color shimmering beyond the horizons. It is here where we begin our tale. This is going to be my generic fantasy setting that this is gonna, hopefully we're gonna make for this, and then people can take it and do whatever they want to do with it, right? City of the Seven Sovereigns, and I'll dig into that in a little bit. But let's make some cards, shall we? I think we shall. I think we shall. All right. If I find the right window, we shall. There it is. Playtest tomorrow. Yep. You get people. You get people. Here we go. Let's create some cards. So these are some ideas that I had for the initial cards. What we need to do with this now is I need to remove that column. I don't need that column. And then we actually, I'm going to do this. We're going to Control Z. We're going to grab this. Thank you, Hydrate. I appreciate that. We're going to clear it. Nope. We're going to clear this one. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, yay! Pixie's headed home. Let's try 5. Let's try 5 people. Whoever's willing to give this a shot. Right? Alright. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make it a little more uniform. We're going to say that every card has a very good stat, which is going to be 5. And then it has other stats that are 3, 2, and 1. So the stats always add up to 11. Okay? And, okay, so wealth is actually a separate stat. Wealth is an abstract measurement of wealth beyond walking around gold. When you spend the amount equal to the to your wealth, it decreases by 1. So it ablates. Wealth ablates. How's that? Yeah? Yeah. There we go. Oh, yeah. I let her go to I'll let her go unsupervised. So, this is species. This is just sort of how you were born, right? Natural athlete, probably 3 in the social. Let's do that. Why not? Bright kid. That's going to be the 5 there, the 1 there. We're going to just play in stereotypes for now, right? Why not? Fuck it. So there's that. Popular is going to be that. We're just going to create some here. Bagel. There we go. Lucky I didn't. I'm gonna just leave. There is a luck stat. Figured it out. Luck has no other stats. If you have a card with luck, it can only be applied in combination with something else. That's it. All right, what are humans like? Let's see. Luck of Heroes. We're trying to get to 11, right? So we can also do that. Super average, right? Six. Devil's Own Bargain. Hell Touched. Take a wound to use the luck stat. Okay. Upbringing. If you guys have any thoughts on these, please share. Happy to hear them. Bagel. Oh man, really? Randy, why no bagel? Why no bagel? Right? I know. So, if we can stick to that 11 over here. So this can be 3, 2. So look at that. Yeah, there's that. in the city of the seven sovereigns, magic is common. It's 13. This is another set of 5s. And... ooh. You don't know what Asiago is? Asiago is a type of cheese. It's a little... it's kind of like cheddar and Swiss had a baby. Like, it's creamy the way Swiss is, but it's got a little... not quite cheddar, like bite. Not a sharp cheddar, but maybe like a medium cheddar. Sort of... hint of like tang to it. Yeah. Oh, nice. Cthulhu. Right? Absolutely. On board. So I need to get a 6. 7. Yep, there we go. Cityborn. Yeah. We can do 3 Arcana as 3. Not 23. Arcana as 3. Social. 2. We're up to 8. Yeah, I'll go with that. Military. Sounds like Gouda cheese. Yeah, kinda. It is kind of like Gouda. I get that. Ooh, Hickory Farms Gouda cheese. I love when the chat devolves into cheese talk. It's a good time. Dun. 8, 9. Uh, 7, 10. There we go. Cheese chat is best chat. That is, you're not wrong. Cheese chat is best chat. Absolutely. Nice. You know what? Let's go with that. 5, 9, 10. There we go. Uh, 6. Yep. There's that. Broken home. There we go. Loving family. This needs to be 8, 9, 10, 11. There's that. Ooh, Vermont sharp cheddar yesterday. With peaches. Huh. I've never had peaches and sharp cheddar before. Uh-huh. Grapes are a top tier fruit. Oh. Oh, brie and grapes and cheddar. You know, it is a fantastic combination, and it's such an odd thing. Granny Smith green apples and Havarti. No, not Havarti. Buttercase. Buttercase cheese. With Granny Smith green apples on a sandwich, on bread, on like a hoagie roll, is phenomenal. Havarti is good as fuck, though. I agree. I 100% agree. Okay, so we've got species, upbringing, life events. I'm going to make stats for those. And then occupation. And then do we do an adventuring style? Yeah. Adventuring style. Those are more like personality sort of things. Oh, did you say it in the butter case and apples? Yeah, you did. Sorry, I had missed it. Yeah, but butter cases with a K and like the A with the umlaut above it, like a bunch of weirdness. That's good to know, Marquise. About the EU courts fighting it. Okay. Occupation. Are these sufficiently diversified? I mean, that needs to be that. I don't need that. Let's see. Yeah, rural and bohemian. Maybe this needs to be 2, and this can be 4. There we go. So the 5s are really kind of special. They really stand out. You know. Yeah, that sounds good. I like that. Life events. I also think it's going to be okay to have some cards that don't have stats on certain sides. That if they don't have a stat on a side, they just can't be used for that ability. You know what I mean? So yeah. And I think that's going to be the practice here for a second. Injured. This was designed when I thought that the uses of them were going to be different. So I don't know about injured in the past. So sorry, I gotta keep talking, because I know that it's earthquake. That I know that it's not always good content for me to just be, like, staring at the void, thinking of things as I go. But I've got some good ideas here. Okay. 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 Here we go. So sorry. I was dreaming about running the system. That's the that's the ADHD kicking in. There we go. That's a good way to do that. No, I don't need a +2. I just need 2. There we go. There we go. Wealthy. Just... Blondosaurus redeemed a hydrate. Thank you. Yes. That's an ice eater, more of a than a hydrate. But I'm gonna get some. Nom that water. Nicely done. Thank you. Let's see. Let's do that, that, and that. Oh. Crunchy water ASMR. Yeah. Oh, man. -3. 9, 10, down to 7, so I have a +4 to roll somewhere. That's 11, -3 is 8, so +3. I don't know how that's gonna work out. We're gonna play it. We're gonna put it out there, and we're gonna see what. I think the life events have really kind of given me some struggles here, but I think we can make some differences, and who knows, right? We'll figure it. We'll figure it out. That's what this whole thing is about. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure out a way in order for us to have an open world where we can be. Where we can game. Where you can game if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. And if your friends don't game, and if they don't game, then, well, they're no friends of mine. At what hour did Cody lose it? It was about 2:04. 2:06 maybe. This clock's always off. Do you believe in a thing called love? Yep. Happy with that. All right, let's get into some occupations and adventuring styles. And then I can talk about... I did have class cards at one point, but I don't think we need that. We're doing some different things here, but I think it's good. I think it's very, very good. Uh-huh. Three, 6, 9, 10, 11. There you go. Yeah, sure, why not? Crunchy water. Oh, man. Eight, 9, there we go. There we go. Yeah, let's go with that. Why not? 8, 9. Skilled labor. There's that. Student. To 11. Oh. Okay. Am I okay? Who knows if I'm okay? Who knows? I'm falling apart. I'm having some post-nasal drip, which is killing me. But I'm also so deep in focus I'm having trouble talking at the moment, which is an awful show, and I 100% know that. But because I did this at one point, I had this adventuring style. I was looking for like a fifth thing. No, nothing to apologize for. I had this like fifth, so it was a little more esoteric. It was a little more about personality. It was a little more about just kind of who you could be, who you wanted to be, right? And I'm trying to figure out if those are, if that is still a good thing. I'm trying to figure out if that's still a good thing, right? by comparison, I actually think maybe class, not class, but maybe like approaches or something a little more. There's great like flavor color stuff that happens above, but I think there needs to be something that gives a mechanical hook, right? Everybody looks at a chart of abilities and wants to get somewhere, wants to get a power or an ability or something along those lines. You know what I mean? And sorry. And so I think having cards that do that rather than these sort of personality things, I think the personality things are great, but I think they might be side events or like another expansion or something like that. Yeah. So I'm gonna redo these, and I'm not gonna do this. We're not gonna think in these terms, right? We're gonna start here. I think sticking with style as a statement is all right. And there's always this Mad Lib sort of idea that, Cypher System does really great with, that you are a blank that does blank in a blank way, right? And that, I think eventually being able to develop that into a sentence is going to be good. It's going to be useful. It's going to be strong and effective. But at the moment, I am not like struggling, but I am kind of figuring things out. I do think that the tarot cards in size, I think, would be good. Yeah, maybe not the Seven of Swords. That might not. The moon inverted. That's not a great sign either. There's some inverted cups. Wow, I'm gonna stop looking at that. Apples and cheese. What? That sounds lovely. I look forward to that. That's gonna be great. We're gonna let's see. How would you describe a class? How would you describe an adventuring job or an adventuring definition of who or what you are or could be, right? I think that's what I want to figure out. Let's think. Swordsman, here. What the fets? Hey, I'm hanging in there. My brain's breaking a little bit. We've done a lot of good work. I'm gonna have a little break. I'm gonna come back and keep working on it. I think we've got a great basis of a system, which is really, really exciting. Yeah, I mean, Rottingham, it's kind of the same thing. The weekend, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, I can't afford to have brain fry right now, Fats. D&D is falling apart, and we're trying to make another option. Pixie, as many GMs as we can get for tomorrow and for potentially Monday, that would be good. But me too, Fets. Me too. But we're trying to make an open source game so that people can continue to have their amazing fantasy adventures without the bullshit. Without the bullshit. That's it. That is it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. That's our goal. This is the goal. Davy Jones Snow, I absolutely can fill you in what's happening with D&D. So Dungeons and Dragons, the IP is owned by Wizards of the Coast, owned by Hasbro. About 21 years ago, when 3rd edition came out, they published it under what is known as the Open Gaming License, OGL. And they are working on changing and updating the OGL. Brief history on the OGL, and then I'll get into why that's important and what all of this means. Actually, I'll start with what it all means. If it goes through the way it is written, that has been leaked. You would have everyone who revenue, not profit, makes over a certain dollar amount would owe 20 to 25% royalties to Wizards of the Coast. That would include not just published books or rules or monsters or settings or anything like that, but that would also expand to actual play, podcast shows, TikTok original characters based in D&D, that any sort of video content created on or about D&D, and any content made for Dungeons and Dragons, whether it be homebrew, whether it's your own world, your own setting, your own character, Wizards of the Coast would own the rights to that and could take it and do anything and everything they wanted with it with no recourse from the original creator. There you go. It was, near the Brie last time I found it. Absolutely is. Yeah, it is a cash IP grab. Well, so here's the thing. There's a few odd motivations that they have for doing it. The free advertising and all of that. Now, when they bought D&D Beyond, they also got a video studio where they can make their own games and actual play podcasts and have no reason to share any of that. Also, because so many games were based on the OGL, and what I mean by that is the Open Gaming License came out with something that was called the System Reference Document, and it allowed you to play D&D without the name, without any of the intellectual monsters, but the base mechanics of here are your stats, you roll a d20, you add your modifiers to the d20 to beat a DC. That core mechanic in the SRD is what so many games are based on. Pathfinder, Starfinder, anything from Paizo. A lot of, even for, like, it's a little further away, but like Cypher System, pretty much anything that rolls and you roll an add might be subject to that OGL. That would be a court battle to figure out. Is just changing the die enough, right? The classes. So before, you could use anything written in the SRD, and then modify it, change it, do whatever you wanted, and publish that, right? And that allowed for a lot of different games and type of games, and a lot of systems have made conversions to the D20 system, to that basic D&D D20 system. And the reason I say that is, like, for instance, Fantasy Flight Games are famous for making their own weird dice and dice rolls and things like that. And then they'll eventually publish something that goes D20. D20 is the most ubiquitous RPG system. It is the biggest, and if, you know, they're looking at it, yeah, it might drive people away from D&D, but if it shuts down every other game competitor that they have, then, you know, I don't know. So yeah, there it is. Big sads happening there. Is this... I am so sorry, guys. None of this is behaving the way it should. And I am super duper frustrated by it. You guys couldn't see those words the whole time. I am so sorry. Yeah. So I'm creating a system here, an RPG system. The basics of it are you would draw cards, like a tarot deck. Would inform your character and events and things you've gone through. And then you are attempting to roll under the stat of the card that's listed on the card. And the stats are... The difficulty of the roll is determined by the size of the die that you are rolling. So D20s are the hardest, D4s are the easiest, or D2 could actually be the easiest if you wanted to. I don't see there's much reason for it at that point. But yeah, all very, very possible. And we're going to try to play test it tomorrow. So part of it is just making something that everybody can use and everybody can continue to have fun fantasy adventures with. You know, these were things I always wanted to do, and this is just a huge motivating factor in trying to make myself do them. So that's where we are currently. We're going to get in here. Yeah, thank you, bud. Thank you. Yeah. Spell Slinger. Let's see. Um, somebody that lives in the wild. Wilder? I don't know. I'm trying to find. Let's find a fantasy name for that. So here are my thoughts. So this is what I think how we're gonna do adventuring style. Instead of specific classes, each style is gonna have what would kind of be a chunk of class features, right? And the features, I think wilderness is part of it. Divinity magic is part of it. Being arcane magic is part of it, right? Being a talker, a social impact, that's part of it. Just a good physical fighter, right? A mental genius, somebody that's going to solve problems through thinking and observation of them. I think these are the types of things that we're going to try to put into these cards so that a fighter with wild pieces with wild things about them is a barbarian, right? And somebody with skills that has wild about them is a ranger. Somebody that is doubly skillful is a rogue. Somebody that's social and skillful. So let's talk about this. Fighter, fight, war, arcane, divine, wilderness, skill, what's another word for social? What is force of personality? Indomitable spirit, sort of it factor. And then somebody that outsmart tactician. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are 7 very sort of different flavors of thing. But wilderness, divine, arcane, divine, wilderness, right? And then war, skill, social, tactical. That's 4. If I could do, I don't know, 4 and 4. Skillful, social, tactical, arcane, arcanist, diviner, spellslinger, magic caster, carrier of the word. Bird is the word. Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. Word is the bird. Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. Word is the bird. The bird is word. Let's see. So this is the last hurdle I have before I start making cards. Making cards should hopefully be pretty simple. And hopefully warrior, soldier, spell slinger, rune Rune Reader. Divine Vessel. It's another good word for soldier. Divine Vessel. Divine Speaker. Exorcist. Yeah. Alright. I like that. Divine Vessel. Exorcist. Perfect Planner. That feels like the same as... Nope. As Tactician. I don't think these need to actually be as, like, finely defined as maybe I want them to be. You know? Maybe just go with some broader ideas. Or some more specific ideas. Right? Tactician. Hunter. It's another word for rage. What's like a rage? Rage. Shadow Legends. A raging sort of feel. Eruptive, explosive. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Two more. Let me see. Hey, baby.
Hey,
How you doing?
choices were made.
Oh, boy.
Take a break for lunch.
Are we broke?
No, you have money.
Oh. Oh, good. Give me, oh, yes. There we go. Throat slitter. All right. Guys, I'm going to take a break. Should I put it on break or should I close the stream?
Let's like stop and have lunch. You can reset and then you can come back.
All right, guys. I'm going to be back probably around 5 or 6, and I'm going to continue my stream. We're going to actually build cards, and I'm going to also see about having, like, the iPad maybe connected. We can do some things there. I'm going to maybe get some like, placeholder art and stuff like that. And, yeah, that's where we are. So, thank you guys for hanging out. Love you very, very much. Is there anybody for me to raid?
No, don't worry about
Okay. So I will see you guys in a couple of hours, but until then, be cool.